So pranams everybody. Welcome. Arunachala Shiva. Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, pratyor ma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we are on the ninth session of Arunachala Ramana Chintanam. We are contemplating on Arunachala and Bhagavan Ramana's role. As we understand, he is the voice of Shivatva, by which we are even able to understand Arunachala, able to understand the teachings of the self, understand more deeply about self-realization, and understand the mysteries, many of the mysteries, not everything, if not all, but many of these unsolved riddles of the mind, of the inner being, which can help us go closer to the self. Gratitude to Ramana Tattva. So, as we mentioned, we are in the 5th chapter. Yesterday, we did a whole revision of the whole series and the whole wisdom about the knowledge of the self, the journey towards the self, the wisdom of Arunachala, the final jnana, the final upadesha of Shiva to all the seekers. When Shiva gives upadesha to Parvati, it simply means he is giving upadesha to us, because Parvati is samsara, Parvati is us. So we came to the point where Mahaparvati from Kanchipuram comes to Arunachala to meet Rishi Gautama on the instructions of Shiva. And we saw how Gautama Rishi is paying his respects to the Divine Mother. And at the same time, Bada is also paying respects to the Rishi, which we spoke about, the humility, the oneness. Though there is differentiation, because though there is separation, but still the awareness knows everything is one. From the egoic point of view, body consciousness, they're all separate, but from the deep inner awareness, it's all one. So, as Ma Parvati is an awakened being completely, and so is Rishi Gautama, awakened and very close to Shiva, means very close to that pure self. Ma Parvati also is very close to the self. So, at that level, you can see the oneness. There is no bheda, no differentiation. So he speaks about the Mahima or the glory of Arunachala, Gautama Rishi to her. And that is what Shiva wants Parvati to listen from. Why does he want the Mahima to be heard from Gautama Rishi, not anybody else? Why? Because as we discussed, he is very close to Shiva. Close to Shiva doesn't mean that partial closeness, that humanly closeness of special favoritism. Close to Shiva means close to becoming Shiva, the stature of Shiva, the pure consciousness. So when one is in that state, it is known as very close to Shiva. So close not physically, purity wise. So the one who is very close to Shiva, Shiva Tattva, will be able to define things at more purer levels and clearer levels. Like Bhagavan Ramana, I told you, I treat him like the modern day Gautama Rishi who is very close to Shiva. Because of that kind of a purity level, he is able to convey Shiva's words and teachings uninterrupted, uncontaminated to us, Bhagavan Ramana. Now, little bit of ego is needed because that ego keeps one separated. Because if there is absolutely no ego, we say somebody who is Shiva, Shiva doesn't speak. So if somebody has become Shiva, for us it's useless because we are people of Indriyas. We can understand only by words, actions, body language, presence, physical presence, and all the formalities of that presence. What is the formality? We need the Guru to be sitting there. We need the Guru to be sitting up and blessing. We need ashrams. We need all the ornamental stuff. We need to raise the vibration of our being by hearing holy mantras, chanting, or divine sounds, or bhajans, or prayers and formalities, worship, and this. Then you start elevating. This is all the play of ego. It is all these things are to calm down the ego. Because when the ego looks at these things, it feels elated. It drops down into rigidity and becomes subtle. So these are all devices to settle down the egoic tendencies. Too much of mind. You come from samsara. You can't suddenly understand the Lord. You have to simmer down. You have to get acclimatized. You see, in our retreats, in first day, second day, I tell them first day is this. Look, watch out now. Second day it will be this. By third day, the actual work. First 2 days. That doesn't mean first 2 days there is no work. There is work. But what we are aiming at, stillness, achala, nischala, silence, and withdrawn, effortlessly. Not by somebody telling you don't feel only. Yourself, you are not interested. You are more interested to be inward. What has happened? Why not first day? The first day is full of samsara. Worldly vasanas, worldly tendencies, mind is full of it. It takes some time to simmer down. So all these formalities, these are all formalities, what we have. Spirituality, religion, festivals, rituals, traditions, ashrams, prayers, prayer meetings, bhajan mandali. It's all to calm down this restlessness of the world. And now, if seekers are already withdrawn, why would they need it? They don't need it. Why they are withdrawn? Because they have seen the artificiality of everything. The interest starts dropping from samsara because they see the fakeness of everything. They see it's not true. It looks like true, but it's not true. But that you have to experience. You cannot take jnana on that. World is maya. No, world is very, very true. So by your direct experience, you understand it's not. And as you keep understanding at all levels, automatically from inside, disinterest. That disinterest only we call as vairagya. Vairagya has to happen to you. Vairagya cannot be imposed, or you cannot practice vairagya. So as you slowly get withdrawn in towards sat, you move from asat to sat, asatoma sadgamya. So for sat seekers, there is no entertainment. They don't need all these formalities because the mind is settled already. Why do you need now to go and acclimatize? So some seekers, right from day one, they are that way. That is what we are learning here. We are not learning to go and entertain ourselves and in some retreats or in some spiritual program for 4 दिन की चांदनी. The moment it's over, you come back and again bounce back to the same old you. Then again, after a few months, you need another recharge. You need another peg of intoxicated wine. Meditation and rituals and all these formalities are intoxications. So we can get habituated this and it can become a pattern. If you're deeply aware, you'll see it's a pattern. So seekers who are on the path, they don't feel, oh, this is a great achievement. They notice this pattern. And that is where the work is. Are we using these kind of things just for escapism? Or is it we are moving from one vasana to the other? one flavor to the other. Samsara vasana to adhyatmik vasana. So there is work at this end. So those who are withdrawn, they don't need much. They can acclimatize easily and they become more closer to Shiva. Mean they are very close to their self. Self is pure awareness. You shift into awareness, you will start living in awareness, you start moving towards pure awareness. I tell you often, whatever awareness that we are talking about is the awareness that happens through the mind. Right now we are aware. Shifting into awareness, you are using through the mind, the awareness of the mind. But eventually, you'll understand that awareness is alive because of a certain light, which is pure awareness. So when awareness is becoming aware of the false, it drops and then it stays centered on what is true, like your presence. Your mind awareness only reflects on the presence. But as the other obstacles all simmer down, and there is nothing to distract this awareness and bring it back, it stays where it is. Then you slowly start becoming aware of who is aware. What is it that is aware? That is when we start finding this pure awareness, that finding of self, that pure awareness which is self. You start realizing that is only self-realization. When everything drops, when everything drops means awareness has to become aware of something. All the time it's aware of something or the other. Right now you're aware of me. You're aware of my words. Simultaneously you're aware of something else also in your head. So many other things, maybe planning for tomorrow, maybe somebody is talking to you or some other thoughts are coming. You're aware of so many things. These are all distractions. When all the distractions go away, what will awareness do? Awareness has nothing to pounce upon. When it has nothing to catch, it stays where it is. When it stays where it is, it becomes self-aware. You're getting the whole point. That is this Arunachala Tattva. So till there are certain things to do. Yesterday we were discussing, never be overconfident. But we have reached there. I've seen in my journey, seekers get thrilled because I also had been caught up in all these things. Many times I've learned lessons. The moment you say you're there, it is all the ego's work. It fools itself. You must be having some elevated experiences, but that's not it. That's all passing phases. So it takes a lot of time for the ups and down to finish off. How do you know if you're progressing? The lesser interest in samsara and the dramas of samsara, that's a revolution. You can't say I'm in awareness, I'm in deep, oh, I'm very meditative, and then you want to go to the bar, you want to eat something, you want to drink something, you want to party, you want to disco, you want to do everything there. That means vasanas are there. It's not that it is wrong. You can be aware there also. But then you can't call the work is over. There's a lot of work there. A little bit of stillness, a little bit of calmness, a little bit of peace, a little bit of good sleep doesn't mean it's happened. That is all preparation. Yet it is preparation. So as we go closer, we become closer to Shiva. And that is the purpose. So the Divine Mother is already close, but because of the ignorances, she has become far. So she is doing tapas and reaching back. And there are other aspects within us which is also elevating. There are many aspects, there are many people around us, or all integrated egos, disintegrated egos, they are also rising. So when we are evolving, like minded also will start coming close to you. That is what only people call paths and communities and like minded people. They come together, jhund hota hai. So as your vasanas, as your tivrata, that kind of people will attract or be repelled away. The more, like if you are getting more deeply into authentic spirituality, which is all this, you are able to see the falseness for it, and I'm playing, my mind is playing a trick, the world is going on, and this is a never ending play. So if you are that kind of a person and you have that kind of vibes and frequency, you will see, you will have that kind of people around you, support system. As your vibe, so your tribe. And if you are too interested in ornamental spirituality, glamour spirituality, if you're running around doing this, you will see similar kind of interest people will be there who still have vastness in that, and are okay with it, and they don't want to give up. There is nothing moksha poksha for them. It's just like, okay, we are maintaining through spirituality. So like-minded people will be there, and they come together and they have good company. They give each other company. So here I am focusing again on the Divine Mother and Gautama Rishi. Why not others? Why does Shiva say you go to Gautama Rishi to hear my Mahima? So there are countless sages who did tapas there. You know all these people. So many names we took, right? Who are this? Brahma himself did, Vishnu did, Soma did, Surya did, Agni did, Indra did, Devas did, Dikpalakas did, Siddhas did, Charanas did, Yakshas did, Vidyadharas did, Gandharvas did, Nagas did, serpents, birds, divine sages, Siddha yogis. So many of them did. Why go only to Gautama Rishi? Because he says he is close to me, purified. And that's why I say, when you go to the closest tattva, like Bhagavan Ramana, I treat him as the closest, very next to Shiva. Because if you look at his life, if you look at the way he lived, the way he shared his teachings, his state of consciousness, it will reveal to you. So if your vasana is like that, you will get attracted to such Guru Tattva. Simple as that. So when you get attracted to that, the voice of the Lord will start speaking that language which you can understand. So that's what the whole paths and religions and all these are. Whatever language you understand, the whole bandobast hai. Cosmic intelligence has done all the arrangements. So here we are talking about Mahaparvati and Gautama Rishi. Both are at that level. Their talks are at that level. You see how they are treating them with that level. So much of pure devotion, pure love, pure respect towards each other. And they are understanding their own journeys. But at the same time, there is no differentiation. You see the state of consciousness there. You can see when you go closer to that, like Bhagavan Ramana, if you see, he will be like this, same qualities. Even though there is differentiation, internally there is no differentiation. There is respect for everybody. Bhagavan Ramana respected everybody. I give you examples. Even if robbers came there, he respected him. Even the insects that bit him, he respected it. He said that's their nature to bite. And if workers were there, beggars were there, politicians came, rich, affluent people came, the aristocrats, bureaucrats, the common men came, the grahasthas came, the sannyasis came. But he treated everyone equally. No special favoritism towards anybody, nor rejection of anybody. All are treated equally. In fact, he changed certain things there. When he was fed food and he was in the food system, first they gave it to Bhagavan Ramana, then the people's disciples, and then the devotees and the ashram people, and then the visitors, the guests who had come, and then the people who are working, and the others who come for Bhiksha. Bhagavan changed the whole thing. He said, first feed them who have come there, outside, outsiders, the beggars, the passerbys, the other who are come to visit, and then the inmates, and then the devotees, and then finally used to have in the end. These are examples that he is giving, that no superiority, inferiority based on that. All are treated as one. In fact, not just human beings. he would advocate the same even towards animals and birds and reptiles. In his presence, everything was free to walk around, even animals, birds, squirrels, the dogs, the cows, the monkeys, and all felt safe in his presence. He used to admonish if anybody treated them as lower. He took great care of them. In fact, we know the crow, the jackal, and the dog and the cow, Lakshmi, how they all got mukti. It's very rare because liberation is only possible through the human bodies, which even the gods are envious about. Here, animals got that. So Bhagavan used to say, in few cases, it can happen. So he was aware of the ripe species also that came to him, ripe animals that came to him. So he used to say, you do not know who's who here. Our ego and mind will keep on judging. Oh, somebody is lower. We are Brahmanas, we are the highest. Somebody is a Shudra, lowest. Somebody is a lower caste. Or somebody looks very poorly. Oh, that's an animal. They're all souls. And we do not know the state of evolution of any soul. Looks can deceive. Looks will always deceive because we only keep on judging by how a person looks or talks or feels or behaves or things like that. But that is not the final judgment. So Mahatmas like Bhagavan Ramana are aware of all these things. So he used to not allow any kind of differentiation. So who's that? Somebody who's close to Shiva only can be like Shiva, right? Shiva is like that. Shiva's quality is like that. No partiality. Nobody to own. Ramana has nothing to own. He cannot call anybody his own. Not even his family members, his possessions back there, his property, the connection with the family, and calling himself I'm the brother or I'm a son. Or he's not gone into Vairagya, his tattva, he is illumined. That is not that he has taken Vairagya. His state of consciousness is such. He's so close to that self. When you are close to the self, you can see the falseness. So once somebody is realizing falseness, why would they have interest in it? So these Mahapurushas like Nityananda, Ramana, they don't claim. They don't have father, mother, husband, wife, son, daughter. Bhagavad Gita says, right? That you don't have a father, you don't have a mother, you don't have a wife, you don't have these members, then why is your mind in distress? Bhagavad Gita asks. You have none of these. Then why is your mind troubled? Bhagavad Gita is asking. As yesterday we discussed, these are only for advanced seekers. Casual seekers पढ़ ही नहीं सकते इसको, इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं आएगा. Because for us all these titles are very real. In fact, we are surviving to maintain it. In fact, we are in spirituality to maintain it. We are doing meditation so that we can manifest things better, we can maintain and we can strengthen family bonds. You'll never hear the real giants speaking anything about maintaining anything in this world. Like Ramana or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Nityananda for that matter. Maybe they will look to a crowd and talk. Nityananda used to even get people married. Many marriages happened in his presence. But he had the opposite people also. Sadhu sannyasis. Bhagavan Nityananda will never tell to a sannyasi to go marry or produce a big family. So they behave according to the state of consciousness. In fact, even Bhagavan Ramana's, you can see, there is hardly any, I have not found anything, where he is talking about maintaining families, how to keep your family happy. Never you will find in Ramana Tattva. Why? He is closest to Shiva, closest to self. From that point, you cannot entertain anything in the false world. It all depends on where we are. See how the Guru Tattva also is there, step by step. Arrangement is there at all levels. That is how you get promoted. You evolve. When you evolve, that kind of Guru Tattva activities will start happening towards you. Wherever is your state of consciousness, that kind of sadhana and that kind of jnana will start moving towards you. As I always say, sadhaka, sadhana, sadhya. Sadhya is the goal. Sadhana is the practice to attain the goal by sadhak, the seeker. For a sadhak to attain the sadhya goal, sadhana is needed. Okay. Now the sadhak's goal kya hai? Sadhya. Based on the sadhya, sadhana will change. Getting it? Now what is the sadhya of the sadhak? According to the level of consciousness, level of purity, the goals also will keep changing. You have seen the start, the goal is still to maintain. It is all about maintenance only, right? I want peace of mind. That is the goal. I want happiness. I want health. I want well being. I want all my court cases to be solved. That's how the journey begins. If your sadhya is that, you cannot get Atma Sakshatkara. You cannot get self realization. That is simply a thought in your head. You can keep dreaming about self realization, but where is your state of consciousness? What is the sadhya? Inside goal. What is the goal? If you are seeking these things, sadhya, then you will get that kind of sadhana pulled towards you. You will not be able to do higher sadhanas, even if you want it. Even if you say, no, I want to do that, you cannot do it. You will be able to do the sadhanas as per your sadhya. Remember that always. So people get confused. They are busy judging. Why he is going there, why he is going there, why he is doing that sadhana, why he is not doing our sadhana. He was doing once our sadhana, he has ditched this sadhana, he has gone. Where is ditched? Ditch which कुछ नहीं होता यहाँ पे. Your sadhya goal changes, your sadhana will 100% change. And whatever is meant for you sadhana, the Guru Tattva will be arranged. That's the love of Shiva. He takes care of everybody. Human beings can't take care of each other. Here हमारे यहाँ पे सब पॉलिटिक्स वो ये फेवरेटिज्म, ऊंच नीच, हायर लोअर, जाति, कलर, कास्ट, knowledge, qualification, these are very important. Skills, the levels of flattery, the levels of truthfulness, these are all worldly systems. Shiva is not interested in all that. So I always say, irrespective of what happens in the world and its dramas, you keep your highest goal on the highest sadhya, that will take care of you. Simple. Again, I'm repeating. The sadhak and the sadhya, so will be the sadhana. Or you can change it and say, if the sadhak changes the sadhana, because every sadhana is linked to the sadhya. So if there is a higher, let's say, self-realization or mukti, liberation. So if that is your goal, if it is not your goal also, if you start doing the sadhana that is connected with that kind of sadhya, your sadhya also changes. It might be a lower goal, but by doing those practices, higher practices, slowly Your goal starts changing. Have you noticed this? If you pay attention, you will notice these things in life. You either have a higher goal and you're keeping your eye there, and suddenly you'll see all your atmosphere will change. Everything will shake up. There you must trust. Don't trust people and the system. They're all man-made, ego created. Trust that which is beyond the ego. For that only I say practice deep awareness. Learn to get into the presence and connect to the Shiva Tattva directly. That will guide you. Because we cannot trust the mind. We cannot trust somebody else's mind also. You cannot trust somebody else's ego mind. You cannot trust your own ego mind, because you have seen, you want something but the mind will do something. You cannot follow your mind. You have to learn to go beyond the mind and surrender there. Yesterday, what we did, every evening, last prayer, what we do, if you pay attention to it, that's simple but powerful. If you can expand that, last 2 minutes, 5 minutes, what we do, that's enough. There's no great tapas to be done here. It's all on bhavana. Purer the intention, it will take care. So sadhya you change, sadhana will change. Sadhana you change, sadhya also will change according to that. These are all interconnected. As your sadhya changes or sadhana changes, the sadhak changes. The seeker also changes, evolves. These are all interconnected. So what I say is, wherever you are, listen carefully, wherever you are in the spiritual journey, that is perfect. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. When the mind says, no, I'm not supposed to be here, I should have been there, that's all false. You are there exactly and precisely in the place you have to be, in the position you have to be, in the success or in the failure that you have to be. Because success is leading you, failure is guiding you, is teaching you. These systems are all perfect. So never crib and think that where I am sitting, you don't, that you're not trusting the force that is taking you according to the prarabdha. Kartura jnane prapte phalam. Karma kim param karma tajadam. It's running on that. If you understand that, everything is okay. If you keep understanding that, then wherever life is taking you, however it is taking you, you're fine. Provided your sadhya, you're connected to. That's all. If your sadhya you're connected to, then you need not worry in any way. Shiva Tattva will take care of you. Certainly it will take care. So we must learn to trust. So go higher. Go to the higher sadhya, higher sadhanas. Go beyond. Find what is beyond. Don't settle down with the mind says, oh, this is ultimate. The mind ego will always say this is ultimate. Is there any religion that will say we are not, हम किसी से कम नहीं, वही कहते हैं ना? Will it say no, we are mediocre, or there is something beyond it? Nobody will say. No shopkeeper, no businessman also will say there is some other shop better than me, go and buy there. Will they say? No spirituality will say, no religion also will say that. Everybody says mine only is the best. So the mind ego does that. You see, when we practice something, when we follow something, you start getting the feeling what I am doing only is right. Isn't it? Immediately you'll see why that person is doing that way. Immediately everybody is judged. As though what we are doing only is the right thing. That comes from this non-understanding that everybody is where they're supposed to be. And it's perfectly fine. I am supposed to be where I am. Perfectly fine. I am where I am. There should be not even an ounce of doubt in it. Not because somebody is telling you. Investigate and see. You are where you are. You will see progress. Today you might see it's a failure. Tomorrow you might see it's a problem. Tomorrow you'll realize, hey, I am where I am supposed to be. So that's the divine will that's So it takes some time. One day you'll realize. It will take some time, and then you'll realize that everything is happening for the highest good only. There is nothing that has gone wrong. Mind ego will say, no, it has gone wrong. Others will say it has gone wrong. Nothing is wrong. Everything is in perfect order. You are come here as a traveler on a vacation on this planet. You will do your vacation, you will have your ups and downs, and you will go from here. That's all. No big deal. Oh, you failed here, you passed here. Oh, you were very successful. Oh, you are utter failure. These are nonsense, bullshit. There's nothing like that. Because it's just a transition. It's just a small, tiny part of your entire journey. If you understand this journey, you will see the whole journey. That bit by bit only, your whole journey is opened up. Bit by bit. We are stuck in only one bit, this lifetime. In that lifetime, we are stuck with one incident that happened in my life. It's all fake. Doesn't matter. So keep your attention always on the sadhya, the highest goal. You'll attract people who are at that goal. You keep it at that level, you'll see immediately sadhanas, practices, wisdom, even the places will get attracted. Like how Arunachala pulled, like suck you there. And you don't know in the start what's happening. Why am I getting attracted to this? Like crazily attraction. Many of you say that. What's that? Self-pulling, Shiva Kripa, Ishvara Kripa. If you have nothing other than Advaita Vasanam, it will not allow you to simply linger here and there and pass your time. It will pull you to the core against your will. Because my will, free will, keeps playing games only. But the divine will knows it. So when you realize that, slowly trust will start coming. So that is why we are talking about the highest, Mahaparvati and Gautama Rishi. Mahaparvati also is listening from Gautama Rishi. All the Mahima, like you are listening. So many things about the Mahima of Ramana. It's a step down. Ramana talks about Arunachala, here we are talking about Ramana. Steps. So where we ended was how Arunachala is 3.8 billion years old. Very old than the Himalayas. Himalayas is only 2.6 billion years old. And we discussed how the Charnokite rocks, the stones, are still found in Arunachala, which is it's like 3.5 million. It's dating, geologists have found out. Charnokite. It's dated back to 3.5 billion. So it's the oldest. Arunachala hill is the oldest. Gautama further related how Tilothama, the celestial damsel, from here all stories are there. I'll keep on reading now. Okay, so it's just like the glories of Mahatma of Arunachala. So Gautama Maharishi further related how Tilothama, the celestial damsel, the Apsara, was saved from the amorous advances of Brahma, who in his lust wanted to covet her. So Brahma wanted to covet somebody, lusty towards an Apsara. You might find this very strange, all these kind of words. But I am telling you, Puranas is full of it. Puranas is full of things you can't imagine, your mind can't think. Of course, we have only seen the one fraction of Puranas where, everything, even Vedas. We have only seen the Vedas and Puranas, only one fraction. But there is another fraction which is kept because probably due to embarrassment, but there is nothing to get embarrassed. All kind of weird things are there, right from the Vedas. This that is just showing the different definition of life from all angles, from the top to bottom. So everything, if you see that way, it's already there. Whatever is happening in our life, you can see it all there. But they have deep meanings. Like here, when we say Brahma was lusty towards an apsara. Now, Tilottama was created by Brahma. As far as I know, there were two, I forgot their names, two asuras who had got a boon that they cannot be killed by anything else, but they can be killed only by themselves, each other. And now they are not going to fight because they are brothers. So Brahma creates this apsara, Tilottama, and very beautiful. Tilottama, til means sesame seed. The beauty of all the creation is taken. The gems and pearls and the most beautiful things of nature, everything is created, and this damsel is created, Apsara is created. And she is sent to these two asuras, and these two go mad behind her. Both of them. They get so mad, they want to possess her, and she plays around nice games, and these both beat themselves up. They kill each other. And that is how the asuras are killed. Because they had got the Vardhan blessing that they cannot be killed by any god, not even by Shiva, but only by themselves with each other. Now you look at these might look stories, but these are all our inner counterparts only. Now Brahma created that Apsara. Creator means is the father, right? Daughter. Creator means what? Giving birth to any tattva that becomes the creator. So Brahma creates this Tilottama, but later you can see in the story, he only becomes lusty towards her. There are many stories where Brahma chased this girl and then she ran to Shiva, sought his blessings, and Shiva cursed Brahma. Many stories you'll find this kind. So, in today's terminology, if you see, this is incest. But if you deeply contemplate, because that's why people get confused, what the hell is this? But as the whole problem begins when you project it into a story outside, but if you connect it to your inner being, it will be easy. That is what we have been doing right from the part one, right? Microcosm and macrocosm. Brahma, I am the creator. I create anything. I can create anything and fall in love with that and become lusty towards that. If you see very deeply, aren't we doing that? We create something and we only get fascinated and obsessed by it. We might create it for others, but we can get obsessed with it. I might create a house for my family. I might say it is for my family, my dharma, but I can be more obsessed than them with that house. Are you getting it? So if you understand things in this way, full clarity will come with Puranas. Whatever you see their stories, you don't have to panic. They're all deep science. If you simply contemplate and become aware, you will understand the meaning. So when she means this Apsara, when she sought the refuge at the feet of Arunachala, the Lord saved her and chastised Brahma. So she went to Arunachala and she took the shelter of Arunachala, and Shiva protected and cursed Brahma. Brahma implored for Shiva for forgiveness. The Lord on his part bestowed his grace on Brahma and said, "The time which has already been allotted to you by me, which will not undergo any change. Not even the greatest are free from the evils of desire. Therefore, meditate upon the effulgent linga known as Arunachala and get rid of all your sins. All the evil produced by the mind, speech, and the body shall be destroyed the moment one beholds Arunachala. This Arunagiri will cleanse all the sins of those who circumambulate it, prostrate to it, prostrate to it, remember it, and offer flowers and praise it with devotion." So he is giving them the vidhi. See, that's how the whole thing, now if you see in Arunachala, the whole pratha has come into place. What is to be done? These are all recommended. Recommended why? For the removal of the ignorances in us, or the sins or karmas in us, which is the cause of our problems. So, what does this show? Brahma created it for some other purpose, but then he only fell in love with it. He only got connected with it. So, now to get rid of all this confusion, he has to come into the shelter of Arunachala. He has to abide in the self. But you cannot abide in the self because the outward vasanas or outside tendencies are so powerful. That is why tapas, we talk about sadhana. At certain holy places, Arunachala is the holiest places. It is the beginning of everything. It's the beginning of Shiva, manifestation of Shiva, the holiest. So when one does tapas in the shelter and surrender of such a place, the impact is even more powerful. It is because you are taking the shelter of grace. If you remember in retreats, I tell you this. We are sitting and doing all the retreats at the foothill and the lap of Shiva. We are sitting there as a child and doing that retreat. The bhav changes, everything changes. We are not thinking or imagining things. That's what it is. And the moment you get into what it is, you will see the results. Arunachala is a powerful place, provided you are aware of it, deeply aware of it. Our work is to make you aware, that's all. Rest, Arunachala only does it. No guru can do anything there, no teachers can do anything there, no practices can do anything there. These are all methods to simply make your mind inward. All the gurus of the world, all the paths of the world, their only work is to make your mind turn inward, rest, grace does. They don't do anything. They prepare the platform beautifully. They are skilled in that. They are very skilled in that, and that they have been assigned. All the gurus have been assigned this job by the Shivatva only. But the skill remains only till there. They remove ignorance. Guru means the destroyer of ignorance, darkness. Guru means the remover of darkness. Through their light, Gyan ka prakash se, the presence of the light, which is purity, which is the truth, eternal truth, that presence can remove the darkness. So when you go to Arunachala, there's a presence, divine presence, most powerful presence of Shiva, provided you are deeply aware of it. That is very important. Huh? This, what I'm saying, is very, very important. You can just go there and keep doing a lot of things, nothing is going to happen. It will happen at its own pace, but if really it has to happen, then you have to know the Mahima. You have to know the deep secrets, macro, what I'm telling, all these things. You have to understand it from that level, then the impact is. That is why Shiva told Parvati to go to Gautama Rishi and listen from him about the Mahima. His interpretation is different. So when you go to Ramana and listen, wow. I am telling you very honestly, I have understood Shiva Tattva through Ramana. I was thinking something else before. Fantastic, no problem. That is part of my journey. But the real Tattva, Shiva Tattva, which is there, because I knew there is something more. Something more. It cannot just be here in the grass. It's something more. And pakadni araska. That is Advaita Asana. That was only cleared. That Advaita Asana was only settled by Arunachala through Ramana's teachings and the presence of Arunachala and Bhagavan Ramana. Two powerful presences. The foothills only, Bhagavan Ramana's Samadhi is there. Very powerful. If you spend your time there only in silence, something will catch you. the fire of wisdom will catch you. The fire of the wisdom in that silence will catch you. The whole hill is vibrating, provided you are attentive. That is the challenge. So Gautama Rishi. So he tells Brahma, you also have to do. So in the earlier times, even Brahma, we heard that, all the great beings also did tapas. Means every level of our consciousness has ignorance. The first level is your Anandamaya Kosha. Then it becomes grosser, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Then it becomes more grosser, Manomaya Kosha. Then it becomes more grosser, Pranamaya Kosha. And then it becomes very gross, physical body. But all the five have impurities. But the impurities at this level is too gross, too strong. That is why we are connected to the grossness. That is why the body is very far from the truth. But at every level there is impurity. Even Anandamaya Kosha is impurity. It is even referred to as the purified ego, Anandamaya Kosha. But it's still the ego. So be it Brahma or Vishnu or any other tattva, all the gods and deities and everything, they are all step downs and everything has impurity. The more we come down, the impurity is more. Impurity means ignorance. So everybody has to do sadhana. Everybody is doing some or the other practice, right from Patal Loka to Brahma Loka or Shiva Loka. There is some work going on, some or the other work. Quality will keep on differing, but there is work. So he says, Arunagiri will cleanse all the sins of those who circumambulate it, means those who go around it, Girivalam, what you call. Prostrate to it, means do naman or bow down, dandvat pranam or sashtang, means the ritual is not important. When you do it, the ego falls. The more lower you go at ground level. That is the meaning of flatten. So what is inside us is demonstrated to the body. The body, mind, intellect, these are all connected, right? So the moment the body falls on the ground, the ego falls on the ground. That's the symbolism for all this. But it is not that if you put your body, you throw your body on the ground, something is going to happen. The whole alignment should be there of what you're doing. If you're deeply aware of what you're doing, it has more power. Same way, the bowing down. In Tamil Nadu, you see, they don't bow down directly to the deity or guru or the Jiva Samadhis. They will bow down 90 degrees angle or some degrees angle. If you ask why, that is because they feel it's very powerful. You can't தாங்க முடியாது. You can't bear it. Because you can't bear it, you tilt a bit. Indirectly, if you say, it is just the inner subconscious saying, I'm unworthy yet. I'm not worthy to receive you. Not because I'm bad or something like that, but it is a sign of humility again. I cannot contain you. So that respect in that manner. So these are all these body language and everything also has its own power. If it is done in deep awareness, you can also do it. But do it in awareness, not because somebody else is doing. Don't think Shiva will be pleased because you do 1,000 prostrations. You do 1,000 or if you do 1,000,000,000 also, that doesn't matter. With what intent are you doing it? Is the ego really falling? Is my mind really falling? Is the humility really overwhelming in me in those moments? Can I see after I drop down and get my body up, something has dropped in me? Even if it is a fraction, do I notice it? Then that sadhana is working. But if you do all the prostration, and then you get up and you get angry with somebody, give somebody a slap. It happens because that then becomes ritualistic. That is just a rule. Somebody is just doing it because it's a kind of tradition or culture. We are not talking about that. Everything is deeply connected. So, everything, even the circumambulation, you offering flowers, you praising it with devotion. Praise also with devotion. There's a praise when you're saying. When you praise the Lord, what happens? You become nothing. That is the mahima of praising when you sing praises. But I have told many times, I have mocked this thing about praising the Guru and God. Because when we say Mere Guru Mahan and we sing a bhajan, you are singing about your Mahanta. You're saying, my Guru is Mahan, look at the Mahan Shishya singing here. The bhav is that if we observe, we can see very proud of our Guru, of our tradition. What is that proudness? That the ego of the disciple saying, this is me, the special one, my special Guru, my special parampara. Or you say, there's nothing other than my religion. And then you are praising. No, that's not the intent. The intent is to wipe out yourself, saying that there is a higher power more than me. I am nothing. I surrender to that higher power. Daily, you see everything. Life is not in my hands. Everything is going in a certain way. You are the creator. You are the divine one. So from there, when you sing praises, you see the Mahima. Mahima is done to show you are greater than me. Mahima is always just to kill the ego. Because we always move like I am so great. So all these devices, these are all given by Shiva only. Agam Nigam Shastras. It is all meant, it's a science. So even if we do this, we have to do it in the right spirit. It can be done. I often tell people who the retreats and all, or who come to shifting into awareness, because the old vasanas are there, the old rituals are there, the old bhakti might be there. You are fond of Mahashakti, Parashakti, or you might be fond of Hanuman, you might be fond of Murugan or Ganapati or Shiva, or whatever, Narayana. I am telling that's power, because if you have deep devotion to something external, when you are moving into the Shaktopaya, you can use the same intensity of the devotion but direct it inward. You just have to reflect it back. You don't have to give up karma kanda. Many people feel you have to give it up. You don't have to give up. Give it a redirection. Do it in the right spirit. Earlier it was done with a different spirit. Now an aim. Now it is done with a different spirit and aim. You'll see that same power of whatever you did, whatever bhakti you had. Let's say you are a Shiva Bhakta outside. You go every Monday to the Lord. You go and you maintain all the fasting and all that, Shravan Somar, and so many things you do. Good, but change the perspective of that with these deeper tattvas, the microcosmic world, and see it all inwardly. Fast more from the higher koshas. Fasting is done by the body. Upavas. Bhagavan Nityananda explains Upavasa. Upavasa means your vas, you must stay in the upper chamber. It is not actually fasting and giving up food. That is all bodily level. When you fast at the bodily level, what I am saying is turn the same fasting inward. Fast in the mind. Start fasting in the mind. If it is thoughts of food, the thought of food should be renounced, not this food from here. And you will see, if you are renouncing it from there and you still have it from the body, you are maintaining upvas in the right way. The higher bodies, you have to take things in the higher. So I am telling, whatever is done in the outside, you start reflecting it inside. Use the same power to inside. You'll see magnificent changes, sudden leaps of consciousness happening. So nobody is asking to give up anything, but do it in the right direction. Change it towards the right direction. While mountains like Kailasa and Meru are the places of my abode, Shiva is saying this to Brahma. Kailasa and Meru are places of my abode, means where I live. This Arunagari is my true form, and here I abide eternally as this hill. By merely looking at its peak only, will all sins be destroyed. By the eye of wisdom will be opened. Very true. You might say, I look at Arunachala so many times, nothing happened to me. I'm saying, look at it with the right eye, right perspective. That now you understand why he said the mother to go to Gautama Rishi and listen to this. Because you will get the right frame of mind. Previously also you are worshipping everything, but now you are getting the right frame of mind. So that is the magic of listening to it from Gautama Rishi or Bhagavan Ramana. So he says, Kailasha and Meru are my abodes. I live there, okay, but here I am in my true form and I will abide here. I am abiding here eternally as this hill. Shiva is saying this. By merely looking at its peak, not only sins will be destroyed, but the eye of wisdom also will be opened. 100% sure. Sins to jayega hi jayega, but your third eye will start opening. That means your Viveka. Why? Because third eye is Murugan, Skanda, and that is Skanda hill. You're looking at Skanda hill means you have the grace, you are winning the grace of Skanda, Murugan, which we learned is awareness. Awareness opens up, Viveka opens up, third eye opens up, intuition. They're all the same. Buddhi, intellect, Viveka, awareness, Jnana, wisdom, all the same. Third eye, intuition, inner guru. That's why Guru Chakra this is called. Inner guru is this, which now can open up. Why? When this is closed, you go to somebody whose this is open. That's all. You go and surrender to somebody whose this is open. The moment your this opens, third eye, you can see your own light. You can take it like a miner. You know, the miners have this light lamp, the helmet. And they go into the caves and to mine underground. Let's say your bulb goes off. What are you going to do? You're going to follow somebody who has light, right? You simply follow, full trust, because that person can see clear than you. That is Guru Tattva. And you're following, and suddenly your bulb lights up. Something had gone, but it got corrected, and the light flames up. Now will you follow? So that torch light, miner's light, is your third eye light. Appo Deepo Bhava. Bhagavan Buddha says, be a light unto yourself. We are scared to on our switch because we are lazy. We have become lazy on somebody else's light. They say that only is the light. And that light is telling, come on, I have come here, Jot se Jot lagao, jagao. I have come here to illuminate that fire in you. आग लगाओ यहाँ पे, तो भीतर का शिव को जगाओ, आग लगाओ. हम कुछ अलग ही आग लगाते हैं. The Guru's work is Jot se Jot jagao, sharing the light, one candle burning the other candle. A candle, Jot se Jot jagao, doesn't mean the candle is supposed to walk forever and ever like a candle, and all keep looking just at the candle and following that light. That candle will burn every candle. That is Jot se Jot jagao. Slowly, one by one, everything gets illuminated. And all the candles are self-illuminated. Appo Deepa Bhava. That is the meaning. But somehow, I don't know why, the whole system has got screwed up. The Guru Tattva and all, there is a big misunderstanding about all these things. Anyways, the times are changing. People are understanding the grace of the Lord, the grace of Guru Tattva is rising. And these things are coming out in more clarity. Let me reiterate the short story of Lord Buddha, who lived all his life, shared so much of wisdom with his life, with his disciples, with his followers, training them, sharing his knowledge, and trying to awaken them. And then one day, the time came when Buddha had to leave. He laid down, spending his last few moments. And when the disciples came to know, they all rushed to the master, surrounded him, and started praying to him. They were all scared. They were worried. They were depressed. They were sad. They were feeling helpless. Because the candle at which they were looking their whole life is now going to go off. Very natural. They start weeping and they start sobbing and they start praying to the Guru, Buddha, "Oh Master, you're leaving. But as you leave, give us the message, a final message, whatever it is. Give us the Upadesha. Give us the final teaching before you go." And Buddha looks alarmed. He says, "Then what have I been doing all my life? That I have to give you one final advice right now." So indirectly, it is a waste of all the Upadeshas. All the other Upadeshas are waste. Because even after a lifetime of teachings, if somebody still wants the final teaching, then it shows that the entire life teachings palle nahi pada, ghusa nahi andar. It has not gone in. It has not illuminated. If it was illuminated, there is no question of asking anything. There would be only gratitude. There goes somebody who illuminated me. Yes, sadness can be there, joy can be there. All those things can be there, but it's from a different perspective. It's out of gratitude, that love, and even that sadness that you feel, out of gratitude, not out of fear. Oh, the Guru is going. The Guru is gone. What do we do? What did you do when the Guru was there? That's the question. So, if we do not do when time is with us, then this will happen in the end. In the end, we will all regret. Because we keep thinking that somebody is going to come and save us. Nobody can save you. They all thought Buddha will save them. And they are saying Buddha only is going. Our Savior is going. Shock, right? Reality comes suddenly in front. Truth will suddenly come in front. It will not come in installments. So it is better to be aware and conscious and become aware of the truth before it slaps us right in the face. So they stood there asking Buddha, and Buddha said this: "What have I been doing all my life?" The other thing is, if my entire life I have told so many things and you have not understood, what is this final moments of talk going to make any difference? Entire life what was spoken, let's say 25 years I spoke, nothing happened. What can 25 seconds or 25 minutes of lecture go to change you? Perspective has to change. It is no more in lectures and upadeshas. Or today I found one, Nisardat Maharaj's, I posted it. He said, you cannot get self-realized by listening to lectures. You have to give up everything and just be one with the truth. Means, I tell you often, level 3 means you have to dump everything. We are talking about level 2 now. We are doing level 2 retreat. But level 3, you have to dump the teacher first out of your head. And then his teachings. Only then that teacher has succeeded. If you can kick out the teacher and the teachings from your head, that teacher is the most successful teacher. He or she has done their job. So Buddha, the people are pleading there, and Buddha says, no more of this stuff. That is the time he says, Appadipa Bhava. Go and be a light unto yourself. That is the final message he gave. They asked the final message, and he had 3 words. Just 3 words after seeing the whole thing. Buddha also learns at the final moment. And he says, Appadipa Bhava. Be a light unto yourself. Be your own light. That is Guru Tattva. You don't realize. So, by merely looking at the peak, not just the sins will be destroyed, but even your eye of wisdom will be open. This is what I'm saying. This wisdom which flows right now, this is the truth which you have to realize. Arunachala will open it, provided your sadhya is Arunachala, means the self. If you can come to the point where there is no compromise, where Arunachala or the self is your priority, it will happen. Once upon a time, one of the Brahmas who had come into, see, one of the Brahmas, so many Brahmas come and go. 96 Brahmas, right? Yesterday we, previous 96 Brahmas had worshipped. So accordingly, they had calculated if 96 Brahmas means 96 play of consciousness coming, and Brahma coming means the creator comes and the whole creation, and then pralay. 96 times it has happened. That is how they are coming to the conclusion that Arunachala is 3.8 billion. Scientifically also they know it. 3.5 billion, the rocks only they are finding it. But spiritually, if you see, mythologically, if you see, 96 Brahmas, if it has to be annihilated, means Arunachala is 3.8 billion years old. So here he is telling, once upon a time, one of the Brahmas who had come into existence from a tiny part of my person, my person means Shiva is telling this, from a tiny part of my person, bathed in the Pushkarni, Pushkarni is a sacred pool, bearing his name, and got rid of this delusion. Once upon one of the Brahmas. So I think that's how it is linked to Pushkar. Rajasthan, there is a place called Pushkar, which is known to be the only temple of Brahma. There is no other temple of Brahma. Only one temple dedicated to Brahma is in Pushkar. Pitra Tarpanal, they do a lot. I've been there a couple of times. So Brahma took a dip there in that place. And then he got rid of the delusion. Delusion means the Maya. Brahma also is in Maya, right? That is why he is creating. at the moment Brahma realizes his delusion, that this is all delusion, he gets dissolved. That is how 96 times it has dissolved. The creator has to dissolve. Do you get that? I, the creator, if I keep remaining, I am the creator of my destiny. That is Brahma Tattva in me active. Once you get dissolved, delusion that I am not the creator, there is someone else, Shiva. Because I got created from him. What does he say here? Shiva is telling, once upon a time, one of the Brahma who came into existence from a tiny part of my person, he bathed in the Pushkarni, sacred pool, bearing his name, and got rid of his delusion. So please understand this mythology. In the microcosmic, I, the creator, I come and I am deluded. I keep creating. I am the creator of my destiny. I keep creating, and I am the Brahma Tattva, and I am the Vishnu. Keep maintaining it. But when Anugraha happens and the Rudra in me activates by the grace, that is Shiva Tattva. When the Rudra in me activates, the delusion is removed. The moment delusion is removed, I, the Brahma, the creator, dissolves. That is my death, Brahma's death. Okay, na? So then who's the creator? Shiva is the creator. And that's the whole story of Arunachala, if you see. Brahma and Vishnu are fighting. We saw in one full episode. And Shiva is coming and telling there is no point fighting, that you are great, you are great. Neither the creator is great, neither the maintainer is great. We. The creator of this creator and maintainer is great. That is why he shows his Mahima, that the light, and they fail. Now it's clear. So, this, if it is generally talked about, people are scared. That is the delusion of Brahma, where you don't want to even listen to say that, no, I cannot be the creator of my own destiny. What are you saying? When I started talking this very rawly in the start, that you cannot be the creator of your own destiny, they said, Tu patbrasht hai. You're going against the paths. What are you talking? I said, I'm not going away. I'm just transcending that path that you are talking about. Path is not false. Correct it is. I am the creator is correct. You have to have the deep awareness to understand life. There is no rejection of any theory. I'm accepting that. But that's just a part and parcel of the whole story. I'm not rejecting one and catching another. You cannot reject one. Everything is a part play of Shiva. Shiva only created the creator, right? So creator is true. Vishnu also is true. But the higher reality is the truth is just for the play. That's all. Brahma and Vishnu. After the play is over, the ultimate truth, only Shiva remains. Simple, simple things. What is the confusion in that? So, if I tell you from a different perspective now, listen carefully. If I say I am the creator of my own destiny, when I am in ego, when I am in delusion, when I say this world is my creation and I am the creator of my destiny, I can create a good body, I can create multiple bodies by producing, I can create so many things in this world, I can create my dreams. That is true from the egoic point of view, but it is not the ultimate truth. But again, from one point, I am the creator of my destiny is again true when this ego creator breaks down and I realize I am Shiva. I am not this creator. I am Shiva. Then when you are Shiva, the omnipresent, from you only creation is happening. At that level, I am the creator of my destiny. I am the creator of my play. Are you getting it? So there is nothing to discard. You look at this holographic truth, it applies in all angles. What is there to discard in it? It all depends, I'm again telling, where you are on the journey. If you are in this deluded Brahma, Brahma was forgotten, then you will keep arguing, you will keep fighting, because you are not seeing the whole picture yet. I'm glad this documents came up. So, and I'm glad YouTube lives. At least from here I can convey the right thing. Because people think we are competing. There is no competition. We are all moving in the same direction toward the same goal. As I keep saying, one nice phrase of Sri Ramdas, he said, we are just walking each other home. I love that statement. There's nobody teaching here, there's nobody guiding here, there is nobody pushing somebody, there is no criticize, nothing. In the whole process of the drama, there is some drama that's going on. We are just playing our own games here. In the end, if you look deeply, we are just assisting each other go back home. That's all. We are all going back home, including your enemies. Your critics also, your praisers also. We are all watching, helping each other go back home. Because even the negatives, what you call, because of the negatives only, you are going toward the positive. So ultimately, if you see, we are helping each other go back home. Whether you call it this kind of help, when you say, Guru Tattva help, Guru is guiding you and pulling you. So what are the opposites of Gurus doing? If you say only the wise people are pulling you up, what are the fools doing? Ignorant doing? They are teaching you how not to be a fool. They are teaching you better be wise. So aren't they helping you out? Look at things from this angle, like yesterday I told you. In everything, there is only that grace in the play. And you'll be just free of all this. ये सही है, वो सही है, ये पकड़ूं, वो पकड़ूं. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Am I on the right track? Am I on the wrong track? There's so much. The ego and the doer will keep arguing and debating on all these things and confused and suffering. Understand these things, what I'm telling from this point, and you're free. Nothing matters. Nobody can even put guilt into your head. If somebody comes and tell you you're doing this, I say, yes, boss, I'm doing this. Thank you. And I'm loving it. They will go quietly. Because you understand from the depth what these things are. So he says, Brahma got freedom from that delusion. You who are in form of the world may also, after bathing in Brahma Tirtha and after offering flowers to me, silently go around the hill and get rid of your sins and be blessed. So Gautama Rishi is talking about all these stories to Ma Parvati, just reminding you. Gautama Rishi is talking about this, how Shiva said this, how this story happened, that, and she is quietly listening. Parvati is listening to the real Mahima of what's happening. So he said, you who are in the form of the world, this is a message to us only, may also, like Brahma, take the bath in the Brahma Tirtha. What is this Brahma Tirtha? This Brahma Tirtha is a pond which you can see in Arunachala temple. You must have seen that, a pool of water in Arunachala temple. That is that Brahma Tirtha. So Shiva says, you also take a dip in the Brahma Tirtha and silently offer flowers and silently go around the hill. You'll also get rid of your sins and be blessed. Now whoever wants to do parikrama, whenever you're coming for retreats, one retreat is in December, one is in February, the next one. Those now, because the seats are all full, second level is all full, first level we have few seats left. December is full. For those who could not come for whatever reasons, for them we opened up one in February. So February is another, bookings are open. People have already started booking. So you can come. So at that time when you get an opportunity, it will be somewhere close to Mahashivratri, either before Mahashivratri or after Mahashivratri. That will be revealed to the people who are signing up anyways. So you'll have an opportunity to be close to that. You can decide if you want to stay around, but now you know the Mahima. And there's a beauty. So I put this on my website also, this whole series, in the event page only. All those who are attending retreats, go through this in your free time, in your travel and all this. Go through this Mahima, understand, and then go with that perspective there. Even if you're not doing retreat, not necessarily you have to do retreat only. If people who don't like me also and like my talks, you can silently go there. Listen and understand the whole science of it, and silently you and do whatever sadhana you're doing. You'll benefit a lot from that. So he says, take a dip. Of course, you are not allowed to go into Brahma Tirtha anyways, but do it through your bhava. That for some other time. On hearing this, Brahma bathed in the pool and worshipped Mahesha, who stood in the form of the mountain. If you see from that pool, you can actually see the mountain, Arunachala. So he looked there. Brahma worshipped Arunagiri with great devotion, with mind made pure by control, Yam Niyama, and he got rid of his sin and he became the Lord of the world. He became the Lord of the world, the real Lord. See these points. Brahma worshipped Arunagiri with great devotion. What is that devotion? Parabhakti, not Swartha Bhakti. Oh Arunachala, give me that fortune which I am seeking for, that car which has not yet come in the showroom, please arrange for it. Oh Arunachala, I have got 3 daughters, give me one son. We are not talking about that. Parabhakti means for the self, for the liberation from all these illusions in which I am stuck one by one. Oh Lord, save me from this. I know this is Maya illusion, but it is so strong. Oh Lord, only you can save. Great devotion. So Brahma bathed in Arunagiri with great devotion, with a mind made pure by control. Yam Niyama in bracket they have written. So that is very important. The mind made pure. So what can a pure mind ask? Arunachala. When we ask, it is impure mind, Chanchalaman. So when with impurities, what you will ask about the impure world only, isn't it? But with the Chitta Shuddhi, with a pure mind, what can you ask? Purity only. Thus he got rid of his sins and became the Lord of the world. These are some sutras you must catch correctly. Those who are interested in self-realization or attaining Shiva. That's the time. I'll just finish this para. Gautama continued. Once Lord Narayana, the protector of the universe, having a 1,000-tongued serpent Adishesha as his couch, was reclining in the ocean of milk, Shirasagara, absorbed in Yoga Nidra, and was oblivious to the dissolution of the universe. So once Lord Narayana, who was sleeping on the Adishesha, Adishesha is the snake which you see on which Lord Narayana is reclining in Yoga Nidra. Now the Adishesha they put here in bracket. Adishesha represents the intellect and knowledge. Clear? Intellect and knowledge. Now this is very deep. I don't know if I should continue it now or should I continue it tomorrow, because this is a whole deep thing that goes of the Narayan Tattva. It's huge actually. Okay, let me try to do it in next 10 minutes, cover whatever I can. So now we are coming from Brahma to Narayana, Vishnu Tattvainess. The 1,000-tongued serpent, Adishesha, 1,000-tongued. Tongue represents knowledge and intellect. So one tongue purified, and here we have 1,000 tongues. Means the power of that intellect. Fully bloomed. Thousands is a nice name. One petal, little power. Two petal, little more power. And that way. 1,000 petals, Sahasrara. Sahasrara is known as Shiva, right? 1,000 petals. It is not in quantity, it is just the representation of the hugeness, of the vastness, of the fullness. So when you say 1,000, it means Pura, Purna. So here when you say the 1,000-tongued serpent means the complete intellect and knowledge, which Narayana. Now Narayana Tattva is cosmic intelligence. It represents the intellect and the wisdom. Now he is lying on his couch in the ocean of milk, Shirasagara, absorbed in Yoga Nidra, oblivious to the dissolution of the universe. Means the universe has got pralay, destroyed, but he is not aware. He is in Yoga Nidra. That is what he is telling. Once this happened, the whole cosmic space was enveloped in complete darkness. The sages were worried over this state of affairs. They prayed to Lord Shiva, then the Lord manifested himself before them with the object of protecting the universe. So the whole universe has gone into darkness, and the sages are all worried because the one who is supposed to maintain the world is in sleep. Vishnu is not aware of it. So what do they do now? Vishnu is not available. So they pray to Lord Shiva. Shiva immediately manifests there with the object of protecting the universe. From the effulgent Shambhu, 33 crore devas emerged as sparks and scattered in all directions. 33 crore devas, gods, emerged as sparks and scattered in all directions. These devas went to Vishnu and informed them of what had happened. He pondered. Overcome by darkness, this darkness is ignorance. Okay, whenever we say darkness, तिमिर, मेरा अंतर तिमिर मिटाओ, मेरा भीतर का विद्या को मिटाओ, मेरी अज्ञानता को मिटाओ, सदगुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ. The prayer, timir, darkness. He pondered, overcome by darkness or ignorance, I fell into an untimely sleep, forgetting my real nature. Narayan is telling this. Sadashiva, the supremely effulgent being, seems to have revealed his form in order to wake me up and taken upon himself the task of creating the worlds. What remains for me or Brahma to do now? So now he's realizing, even if he goes to sleep, the world goes into darkness, still there is some higher power that can still illuminate it. What does it mean? I, the Brahma, am not supreme. I, the Vishnu, am not supreme. There is something else that is still taking care of the universe. Direct message to us. If you stop your creation also, don't think your world will end. If you stop your maintaining efforts also, don't think your world will end. I have told this multiple times. We keep worrying, oh, what will happen after me? What will happen to my kids? What will happen to my wife or my husband, my parents when I am gone? So, this is the ignorant Vishnu who thinks that he is maintaining his family. Maintainer is somebody else. If you go to sleep also, let's say you conquer, you physically die also, they are all taken care of because they are not your children. They didn't happen to you, they happened through you. They are all souls, which are all independent souls of the superconsciousness. Because it comes through us, the illusion is that they belong to us. Because the feeling of belonging to us, that is called asati or attachment. We get attached with this idea that I am responsible for everybody's life and I have to take control of and in charge of everything. But even if I go to sleep, the world will not end. The world will continue. Look at everybody, how many people who left your families, who thought they were the ones who did it, who you thought without them you can't survive, and here you are. They are gone and it's history. At that moment, you feel the whole world has plunged into darkness. What will happen? You see, when death happened, you say, now what? Ab mera kya hoga? What will happen? There's no reason for me to live. And you see, after time, there will be a reason to live because there something else is there taking care of the whole stuff. Isn't that deep? This is how you relate the macrocosm with your inner microcosm. Mythology always has to be linked to your inner life because mythology is here not to show you how powerful the gods were outside so that you go and garland them. Are you getting it? Ramayana did not happen because Ram wanted you to build temples for him and praise him. They are not interested. If they want praise and worship from you, then they cannot be godly. They are humanly because we want praises and worship, isn't it? We want gratification from all that. The Tattva doesn't want all that. Ramayana happened so that it can introduce the Ramayana happening in our lives. Mahabharata happened because it can introduce to you what is happening in your life, your head, which is Kurukshetra. Kauravas and Pandavas, positive and negative, are already always fighting in your Kurukshetra. And your mind, the Arjuna, is tired of it, trying to win the war, sometimes running from the war, sometimes facing it. But until the Krishna consciousness rises in you, that is awareness, deep awareness, the mind cannot fight this war. The mind have to be backed by that consciousness which is aware, Krishna. That is the inner viveka that guides the mind how to fight the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And it teaches, the whole Mahabharata teaches you how to win the war. Winning the war is what? This only. The flaws and the ignorances, fighting these only, the indriyas, the 5 horses which are the chariot, What are these 5 horses? 5 horses are 5 indriyas running in different direction. And when Arjuna, the mind is holding it, is running in all directions. The chariot is going to topple, and from behind Krishna is telling, what behind? That is Viveka, consciousness, awareness, telling what's happening to the chariot. Chariot is the body, path is the road, your journey of life. You see it? The chariot is the body, in that is your mind, Arjuna. In that also is your consciousness, but we have put the consciousness in the back seat. Mind wants to control the indriyas, and nothing is coming in control. And Krishna says, you cannot handle it. Arjuna gives up and says, it will topple the whole thing. And that is when Krishna becomes the charioteer. Means your viveka, your inner light, your awareness must come forth. Mind must go behind. When awareness is over the senses, it takes, the whole chariot goes properly. Simple, that's what Mahabharata is. What have we made out of it? It is not meant to build temples. These are all deep inner reflections, all the Puranas, mighty Puranas. You can see this Purana also. All deep it is. So real seekers must sit with these and reflect inside, because these are gifts given by the Param Tattva and the Guru Tattvas to us, so that we can contemplate. This is why Parvati was sent to Gautama Rishi, because only Gautama Rishi can tell the deep depth of the whole thing. So he says, what happened? He says, yeah, I fell into an untimely sleep, forgetting my real nature. Sadashiva, the supremely effulgent being, seems to have revealed his form in order to wake me up and take upon himself. So we can go to sleep. Narayan Tattva in us. So many symbolism. We can sometimes go into deep slumber. Now, Yog Nidra means the state of being aware when in sleep. It is not the worldly sleep, it is not the gross sleep, where you are snoring and you are dead to everything. Like we sleep at night, that is dead, Sushupti. Sushupti is absent of dreams and the Jagrit states. Now, Jagrit and Swapna are both illusions. Swapna is one level of illusion at the mind level. Jagrit is illusion at the body level. That's all. We'll go deep into this. If you're interested, you can do the webinar 2 Sundays later, where I told you Tripura Rahasya Sadhana, where Tripura Bhairavi, we can realize what is Tripura Bhairavi. The Bhairavi is in us, but it should transcend. The whole world should crumble through our awareness. How? We can do it in the webinar. But the whole idea is this only, to become so deeply aware. You get rid of the illusion of the dream. The dream is happening, which is not true. You are scared in the dream, you are happy in the dreams, and then when you wake up, you say, oh my God, it was a dream. Same way, this world also is an illusion. It's a dream. You are very serious until you leave the body. When you leave the body, you will say, what the hell was that? It seemed like few moments. In the body, it's like years. Both are illusion. So Sushupti is freedom from both the illusion. Swapna, absence of Swapna, and another greater Swapna, the physical Swapna. This is the mental Swapna. Sushupti is absent of that, and that is why when the Swapnas and all these illusions go, you rest deeply in your Chidakasha. So that is why Sushupti is known as deep sleep state and the state of Pralaya. When the whole Pralaya has happened, you have destroyed your physicality, your mentality, and you enter into that realm, that you have entered into Chidakasha. Every night you are one with Shiva. Every night, provided you are not dreaming. Because if you have dreams, then that's not Sushupti. Sushupti means deep sleep state. Absolutely no disturbance, no illusion of any kind. And we get it usually in the early mornings. like post 3 or 4 a.m. In science, it is called as the REM sleep, rapid eye movement. You can see the eyes fluctuating sometimes. You can see dogs and cats also sometimes doing that. That's a deep sleep state. The eyes flutter. So one is actually in that true state of the self. So we experience the self every single day, and that state is known as nothingness, shunya, pralay. Every day I reminded you, right? Pralay happens to us. And in the morning, you wake up. Now that's what's little more deeper, but since the time is over and it's deeper. So how Vishnu fell asleep. He is supposed to be in Yoga Nidra. We are supposed to be in Yoga Nidra, but we are asleep. If you see very deeply, we are asleep. I don't know how many of you can catch this. Once somebody told Bhagavan Ramana, Bhagavan, when you sleep, there is so much of peace, no problems. Everything is gone, identity, everything is no problem because the identity is gone. Identity is the sufferer. That's the ego. So when the identity dies, there is no husband, wife, father, mother, brother, sister, this disease, that victory, this medal, this thing to do, that thing to do, the creatorship, the maintainership, everything is gone and you are in deep sleep. So somebody asked Bhagwan, in sleep, if there is so much of peace, why can't we always be in sleep? Nice question, right? If you see very deeply, we all want to be in sleep. When we are tired, we want to sleep. When we have nothing to do, we want to sleep. Indirectly, when you want to sleep means you want pralaya. Too much of chanchalta, too much, you're fed up. You want to put an end to your physical world, you close your eyes, you want to rest, but then your inner world awakens, your mind. You want to put an end there also, and when you put an end, you want to sleep. But unfortunately, either your outer world or your inner world, mind world, doesn't allow you to sleep. That is termed as then insomnia. But deeply you are craving for deep sleep because that is our real nature. Chidakash. So somebody asked Bhagwan, why can't we be in sleep then? Always. And Bhagwan said, you are in sleep. Right now you're in sleep. Who's talking? Dreams. I don't know how much you can get this, but whoever gets it, it's fine. So I'll mark it till here, and tomorrow we'll continue from here. Yes, it's long, otherwise I would have finished it. We'll continue it tomorrow from here only where we left. Let's become aware of today's session. Let's become aware of the presence of the Lord within us in so many different ways, in our Jagrit state, in our dream state, in our Sushupti state, in the state when we are in the world. You'll see that presence is there with you. When you're withdrawn from the world, even right now, the presence is with you. When you withdraw from the world, you can feel it better, that awareness. You can be more aware of the presence. When you're in the world, also you must feel the presence. But because the awareness is not developed, we cannot feel that. That is why we want to run and close the door and meditate, which I refuse. I say no. You can stop your meditations, but become meditatively aware. Make this awareness so powerful that even in Jagrit Avastha you are aware. You're playing the game in awareness. Nobody is stopping to play the game. You can't stop it also because that's a part of your game. You can't stop it. But definitely you can play the game better, well, without getting obsessed with the game or deeply affected by the game. That is Jivan Mukta. So we are understanding that this awareness should not just be in closed doors or half an hour or 1 hour in the morning, like a doctor prescription, before food, after food, before sleep, after waking up. No way. You do that if you want, but that's not the goal. The goal is to awaken and carry this awareness in all the states. Jagrat also, even in dreams. But there is work to do for that. There's a lot of concept that has to be broken first. All the beliefs, all what you have gathered must be thrown into the fire of Arunachala and just be. What remains, that's presence. Balance what remains. That's where the Lord is. We don't get the Lord because we are filled with all the clutter. When there is clutter in our life, the awareness, instead of seating on itself, it catches all these things. The more you chase anything in this world, you're going far away from the self, even if you chase wisdom. Even if you chase the givers of wisdom, you chase any technique, any ritual, any temples, any mosques, any churches, anything outside, you'll still be incomplete because the awareness is still scattered on projections, vikalpas. When the vikalpas fall, it becomes nirvikalpa. Awareness becomes aware of itself. That's the purpose of Arunachala, nothing else. So become aware of this blessings in our lives where we are timely getting to understand and realize what is meant for us. How beautifully the Lord functions and has been functioning through us through all the yugas, the presence of Shiva and the Shiva Tattva penetrating so many different ways, making it available to us provided we are available to it. Become aware of the blessedness of life, of the worthiness of life, of the unconditional love of God or Shiva Tattva. Maintain only the feeling of gratitude for anything and everything in life, all the blessings of God itself. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadayachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all be blessed, may we all evolve, may we all be free. Arunachala Shiva. See you tomorrow at 9.